So this is a corner of the garden here that we are dedicating to no mow for the rest of the summer. So basically what it is not to cut the grass in this particular corner of the garden, to help reintroduce certain types of wildlife back into this particular corner. And basically we just have a path mowed through it just for easy access to come into this small corner. Coincidentally, I was recently reading an article in the Irish Times in relation to Mow May, and a lot of gardening experts now are recommending that people dedicate or set aside a corner of their garden to help introduce wildlife back into the garden by not disturbing it and not cutting it. And what it said in this article as well too, basically when we cut the grass, and we all talk about that lovely sweet smell of grass, or it smells like championship time with the football. In actual fact, what it is, it's actually the grass screaming out not to touch it. It's nearly like a smell of fear that the grass is letting off. So what we're going to do now in this particular area, we've one particular corner dedicated to wildflower seed. And the wildflower seed is going to attract in the pollinators, the bees, the ladybirds, the butterflies, etc. But it also brings in other types of wildlife such as birds and different insects and little different mammals into the garden. And funny, yesterday morning I was out here and I came across a hedgehog in the garden. Okay, so that's great to see that we're bringing in that sort of wildlife back into the garden here. Now we've one particular bed here now, and this bed we're going to let go wild this year. This bed is full of cottage garden perennials such as forget-me-nots and lupins and rockets, etc. And even by looking here now, I can see a butterfly and a few insects here in and around this particular area. And this is what we want, to attract all this sort of wildlife back into the garden here. So we're going to let this particular corner go wild now for the rest of the summer to take in the wildlife into the garden. So we have a small section here, this small little corner here. We've dedicated this here to wildflower seed for this summer. So actually we planted this out a couple of weeks ago, and when you look closely you can see actually the seed germinating and coming through. Now obviously there's grass through it as well. I can see dockings and buttercups as well too. But that all adds to the ecosystem and the whole importance of attracting the wildlife that we want into this particular corner. In relation to the wildflower seed, actually the poorer the soil the better. The richer the soil, it won't thrive. So what we done here is we scrape back off all that. This grass was all scraped back off, so it was, and stripped back to the bare soil, and then we just scattered the seed around. And that was pretty much it now. So we can see it coming on now. This contains annuals, biannuals and perennials as well too. And so basically that's going to give us an instant burst with the annuals and the biannuals, and then the perennials, and they'll keep coming back year after year after year. And we'll just keep adding to this particular spot. And then when this all dies back in at the back end of the year, what we're going to do then is we'll put spring bulbs such as snowdrops, daffodils, bluebells, etc. in and around this particular area. So that'll give us the splash of colour in early spring. And then as we move from spring into the summer months, then the wildflower seed then will kick in and again attract that wildlife that we want to come into this particular corner of the garden.